Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? What's up? Let's get my banner up, child. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming back for the next video, child. Now, this will be an open panel because I want to hear what you guys think about what's said in this segment of Messy Monday. All right. Because Carlos is giving his perspective as well as Dustin, and y'all know sometimes we don't agree with them. So I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna open up the panel a little bit later, and we're going to talk about what you guys think about the review. This is for part 3 of the reunion. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys a chance to speak your piece. Let's try to keep it no more than 2 minutes. Okay. I got my bell here now. We're gonna ring the bell. Y'all hear that? All right. We're gonna try to keep time because I know a lot of you guys want to come up and talk. So we don't want to go too far and talk too long so that everybody can get a chance respectfully, okay, to talk. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, so let's get into the show. Again, we are talking about this is an open panel discussion for Messy Mondays with Carlos King. Let's say part 3. Let me do that. Give me one sec. Part 3. All right. Love and Marriage, Huntsville reunion. All right. I know I can spell reunion. All right, there we go. Damn, child. For a minute, I thought I went to the same school as Wanda. I couldn't spell reunion right quick. All right, here we go. I'm so damn messy, Lord. All right, so here we go. Let's get into it. We're going to play the actual video, okay? And if I gotta edit it, so what? That's how we're gonna do it today. Shit. All right, so let's go. Do we got any mods in here? Any mods? No mods yet? All right, I see Truth in the House, Truth TV Podcast. I know she got me. And they should be spilling in here lately, a little bit later. All right. Now everybody got stuff going on. But let's get into it, okay? Let's get into it. We ain't gonna wait no more, child. Let's get into it, and then we're gonna open up the panel for y'all to come up and say what y'all think. All right. Let's make it big because we like it big. All right. So we're gonna start it here. So I got it at the point where we're going to start. All right, so shout out to Carlos King because that's what we're watching. All right, Reality with the King. Let's go.
I mean, get up because you stood up and went over there and made it clear to him. Nigga,
All right, hold on. Let me back it up.
Have created a situation where I'm playing City Winery in New York. So on St. Patrick.
Yeah, we don't care. All right, let's go.
Actually, a truth.
So Dustin is getting ready
Instagram bio and
comedy, y'all. Hold on.
Yes. Get up and do what you came to do like I did at this reunion. So let's just get right into it.
I mean, get up because you stood up and went over there and made it clear to him. Nigga, I am telling you that I was like, Carlos has had it. And I completely understood at that point. I understood. You handled it with grace. But I was cussing on the other side of the TV. I'm telling you right now, man.
Yeah, so, the reunion kicks off with, as I sort of reflect on this season, right?
Yeah.
It still fascinates me, the addition of Trisha and Ken and how when we cast them, just not having any idea about this Martel connection
right.
and what was going on with it. And it's funny because Stormi, I don't know if people know this, Stormi recommended Trisha and Ken because Stormi and Trisha are friends. I believe, and I may have gotten this wrong. I don't think I have, but if I did, Stormi, leave me a comment, child. I believe Stormi was in. No.
I'm losing weight and feeling confident thanks to hers.
Yeah.
I got prescribed compounded GLP-1 injections, which have the same.
Skip. All right.
I believe Trisha was in Stormi's wedding to Courtney.
Wow.
Like that's how. No, they're friends. So shout out to Stormi for recommending Trisha and Ken. Just the idea of having this sort of like newfound dynamic added to this cast was just so delicious to sort of like attain. And baby, part 3 kicked off with the Ken, Trisha, Martel of it all. What did you think about the fact that we touched on this a little bit last week with Martel's joke about, all right, let's leave it hot. Okay, I'm lying. And Ken was like, I don't find that funny. And me asking Ken, like, do you think Martel saying that presented this image that Trisha was a loose woman? And he said yes. But I want to ask you this. they denied having anything going on. What did you think about that? Is it something that you were like, okay, finally, this is put to rest, that we can move on from it?
No, I think they're lying even more. No, I think they're lying even more, both of them. When it comes to
you
things
do?
like, oh, for sure. When it comes to things like whether or not you had sex with a person, there's a very clear and present disposition of a person who that story is not true about, right? And both of them were looking like liars. Trisha is an eager liar. When she lies, she sits up. So when she was telling you that, no, not at that time, when she was doing all of that stuff, I was like, she's sitting up here lying her ass off.
No, Dustin, I can't wait to see your live show because your impersonations are so funny to me. Your best one in history to me will always be Destiny Abadani. But what did Trisha do, Dustin?
Yeah, the cadence with which she was speaking when she was answering the questions was that of a liar. You asked her, like, did you have sex with Martel? Was he coming up to you? No, he did not at that time. And then she had the weakest argument I have ever heard. Why in the world? And at this point, I was like, well, maybe she really didn't watch the show. But then I thought about it, like, Dustin, listen to what she's saying. She's telling on herself. You can't say you didn't watch the show and you don't know nothing. And then in the next breath say, no matter what people say about Martel, he wasn't like that with me. Well, how do you know what people say about Martel if you didn't even know that he was on this show and you didn't know him from the show, as you say, when he hit you up? Let's be clear about that whole situation. Martel and Chris Fletcher were talking about women, which is what male friends that date women do. They discuss beautiful women. Women that date men discuss beautiful men with their women friends. The gays discuss it. The lesbians, the days, everybody. You discuss
the gays definitely discuss it
and act on it. But so that happened, right? Him and Martel were having a conversation. He was like, yo, Martel didn't say, hey, is there any ladies at the gym? They was on the phone. Trisha walked past Fletcher, or either they spoke, because remember, they're supposed to be cousins. They probably spoke. He probably was like, Martel, you just my cousin Trisha. Yeah, she looked good, because it was a playful banter. He hooked them up. Martel DM'd her. She knew exactly who Martel was, went over to their house, and they did whatever they did in that house. I wasn't there, so I don't know, but I know what I think happened. And I also, I'm a person that just watched the show. I don't pay attention to none of that online shit, the commentary.
You don't? Wait. Hold on. Are you telling me that you? Wait a second. Now all that online mess. You mean to tell me you don't look at that as an affidavit?
I stay away from it. I watch the show. So I ended up seeing people, because I've been offering my commentary on the show in this capacity, which I'm so grateful to do. I get inundated with clips from people, right? And I never really see them because they go to like my Time out.
I want to ask you this. This is going to be good because this concludes our Love and Marriage recap, and obviously, me and Dustin will do other things on Mondays. But I want to ask you this: you obviously have watched the show since season 1, day 1.
Absolutely.
And every once in a while, prior to you being a regular, I will invite you. And I have your profile as it relates to your commentary on Mondays. What has it presented to you? Has it presented people sending you clips? Has it presented you being a topic on YouTube in terms of like other creators talking about the show? Like, have you been overwhelmed with sort of like feedback based on your commentary?
I have been overwhelmed and inundated and drowned in feedback, but I welcome it because you have to keep that into perspective. Well, at least for me, right? It's not personal. Just like I'm sitting up here giving my opinion on this show, people that are fans of the show and that run YouTube channels and Instagram accounts that are fan sites for the show, and they offer their opinion, they're going to have something to say about whether they agree with me or disagree with me or not. So I don't take that part personally. And I actually don't even look for it because it's not my business. That's a conversation between them and the people that subscribe to or follow them. And I respect it because it's not personal for me. As long as you don't disrespect me and it gets to me.
Do y'all believe that he don't really watch the stuff that go on social media? I don't believe that. Because how would you be able to review and then connect what goes on off the show with what goes on the show? Because to be honest with you, what goes on off the show is relevant to what goes on the show, because social media does feed the show. I mean, do y'all not agree with that? It really does. All the shit going on off the show definitely does. And Carlos makes sure that social media spills over to the show. And that's one of the things that Marceau and Tisha had a problem with, where they were trying to say that production, they were trying to low-key say that Carlos has lazy production because he just like to throw in shit that happens on social media and not really give them a chance to just show them what they're doing in their lives, which is nothing. But that's how I feel. So yeah, Dustin, I do think, and I know that you know what goes on and what's said off the show, off the record as well. So you got to be, he's saying some good stuff, but you got to be all the way 1,000.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If it makes its way to me, that's another thing. But I'm not going out of my way to see it or anything like that. That's your space. So I get it. But because I don't pay attention to all of that, I did get clips of Marquez doing an interview somewhere where he was saying that he overheard Trisha allegedly speaking on the phone about her encounter with Martel and confirming that they did more than she's saying that they did on this show. Me personally, when you're talking about 2 liars, 3 if we include Marquez, I don't necessarily believe it. I believe what the facts line up to most likely equate to. I don't believe anything out of Martel's mouth. We know why. I don't believe anything out of Trisha's mouth. We've seen why in just one season. She is an overachiever when it comes to the speed of the lies, right? I've never seen somebody in one season tell so many lies, right? But here we are. Marquez is even faster than her because we only seen him about 2
not a race,
times.
not a marathon.
Listen, okay, when I tell you Sha'Carri, Flojo, okay, they all was on that stage. You know, Usain Bolt, they all was on that stage. So I don't believe any of it. I definitely assume and believe, based off of my assumption, that Trisha and Martel definitely did more than they're admitting to. To me, it's quite simple, and it's nothing to even lie about. You weren't with Melody. I don't know what Trisha was doing. You know what I'm saying? But just tell the truth about it. That's why when Martel actually first said, "I'll tell the truth, we slept together," I was like, finally. You know what I mean? In my head. But then, of course, he followed it up and said that it was a joke, you know. But I just wish they would tell the truth, because to me, if you ask me, they fucked. That's what it looks like to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's nothing to be ashamed about. It was before Ken.
Put one in the chat if you think Martel and Trish did something. I better see one's doggone. And I ain't even trying to tell you how to vote, but damn it, it's just apparent. It's transparent that the 2 of them did something, because ain't no way in the hell somebody gonna hit me in the DMs come out some coming fucking working out. I mean, was that cold word for bringing that coochie over here? Like, stop playing. Damn. If you did it, you did. Maybe they don't want to say it in front of Melody. Is that what y'all think it might be? Thank you. Ones, all ones down across the board. Yes. Stop playing in our damn face. Come on. He hit you in the DM because he, you know, Chris Fletcher hooked it up because you were looking for some butt at the time. Let's just go ahead and be clear. You tired of Ariana over there with that stale oatmeal wop. So you like, look, what can I do today? Let me be my best hoe today. Chris, who you got on the roster? I'm down here with my cousin, you know. She ain't hoeing today. She could. What you doing? You know, he done passed the number on. Because Chris knows what kind of time Martel is on and what he's into, because he's in the same shit. And that's exactly what happened. So Trish spares about you going down there to the house down there to go to the clubhouse to go work. You thought I was coming to the clubhouse, bitch. Nowhere in that message that Martel sent to you in the DM said nothing about no fucking clubhouse. He said come to the house. Bring that coochie to the house, not no damn clubhouse. And you won't come in there to work out. And I guarantee you ain't having no workout clothes. Not the way Trish dressed. Trish dressed like she's going to be on the stroll somewhere. Okay, and I mean, she grown, she dress whatever the fuck she wants to, but I'm just saying, the way she dressed, she present herself, her ass is always out, she always got on little booty shorts, you know, like she's trying to overcompensate for something, you know. I mean, if you got it, you got it. You ain't got to show all your little body, child. We see you work out. We know you got an 18-pack. Shit. Let's continue, though.
Melody had already let go of that relationship. Like, just say what it was, and it's okay.
Okay. So that's how. Okay. So with that being said, if they did something, right? The other flip side of that, though, Dustin, is they can say it's true if it is true, because she wasn't with Ken and he wasn't with his ex-wife at the time.
Right.
So in their defense, why not be on? You know what I'm saying? Like, if they happen, nobody is going to read them because they both weren't in relationships at the time.
So that's what I'm saying. Why not just say it happened? You really have nothing to lie about.
I know. So they could be telling the truth because they have nothing to lose by lying. So
but that would be. But no, their character and what we've seen thus far doesn't reflect that type of reasoning and decision making. Right? That's a person who is based in integrity, and they don't have any reason to lie. So why would they be lying? Unfortunately, we've seen enough from Martel and enough from Trisha that we don't believe what they say. So the question is, why wouldn't they be lying when you're dealing with people like that? And I can't find an answer other than the one that you just shared. But that's one when I have a myriad of red flags, you know what I'm saying, popping up in front of me, telling me that they actually did, or I assume, again, I don't want to say it's true because I don't know these people personally and I don't know what did or didn't happen. But based on what I've seen on this damn show, they both lying. They've been lying. They lying together. They already lied together, which is what they're lying about now. And so I don't believe any of it. Not 1 second.
When you saw the dynamic shift when Marquez came out And it was the conversation about his participation in terms of his kid's life, in addition to how Trisha and Ken are involved in it. Marquez is very adamant, as he stated in this part 3 reunion, that I am the father. And he kept referring to Ken as the bonus man, which I, obviously we know that word to be the bonus dad, but he refuses to even acknowledge the parental part because he was like, I'm the dad, I'm the father, and I'm not gonna give you that, you're the bonus man. When it comes to that, I did see comments back and forth online about people really do feel, there are people who feel like,
Dear Dr. K,
what do y'all think so far? Y'all could please put it in comments how y'all feel. We're gonna definitely address all of it. Okay.
And that Ken, at the end of the day, good guy or not, he needs to respect the boundaries that you're not these kids' father, bonus dad, stepdad, because you're not even married. Marquez is a kid's parent. What do you think about that? Do you think Marquez, at the end of the day, based on the fact that DNA-wise he is their dad, does that mean that his role or decision should always trump that of Ken, who lives in the house, bought Xavier, their son, a car, and is very active in the daughter's dance recitals, and just appears to be a very active man in the household?
Yeah, I think that first of all, we're not going to play a game of semantics with this. We're also not going to argue over paternity, because the conversation is not about the paternity of those children, right? We understand fully that Marquez is the biological parent, the father of those children. Got it, right? But when he declares himself as such, it should be even more of a wake-up call of what he's not doing. No man, that elected to leave their home in 2021, right? Didn't he say he left the home in 2021 on the reunion stage?
Yes, October of 2021.
So this is currently 2025. Y'all filmed that in 2024.
Correct.
From October of 2021 to current present day, per what we've seen on the show and per what he said, what Ken has said, and what Trisha has said, we know that he's not an active presence in his children's life. We know that he is not the financial provider of his children's well-being. We know that he elected to leave the home. Those 3 facts absolve him of any sort of grace, for me personally speaking, any sort of anything, because again, we're not talking about who fathered the children biologically. We're talking about who's providing for them. We're talking about who's nurturing them. We're talking about who's making sure that their basic needs in life are met. We're talking about who's supporting their mama through her grief that she's still currently going through and dealing with. We're talking about being an active presence as a father figure in that household. And Marquez, you're not doing it. And you're not doing it because you chose not to. To me, man to man, ain't nothing he can say on that stage, because you're not taking care of your business. If you were, that would be a different conversation. And actually, it is shameful and abhorrent that he is trying to defend the paternity. What do you want for being, to me, you declaring yourself as the father of these children so many times? What is it going to take for you to understand you're the father of these children? So get up off your ass and take care of them. No, you and Trisha don't have to be together, but you can be in your kid's life and you can provide the financial assistance to support their basic needs. Then you can have a conversation with Ken.
Okay, so it's brought to my attention that was a whole fucking storyline, that he was not financially being there for his kids, because we all know, per an interview that he did, that he had some type of inheritance or something like that given to him. So financially, he's okay. And I follow him. I follow Marquez on Instagram, and he shows very recently and very consistently that he is with his kids. He spends time with them. He be at his daughter's dance recitals and dance stuff. After the fight between Ken and Marquez, he was at his daughter's situation and daughter's dance thing, and he also spoke on how happy he was to be there and how it made him sad that altercation happened in front of his kids. So he is very much present in his kids' life, and I don't like that they're trying to spin this as a narrative in terms of making it his storyline and make him look like he's an ain't shit dad, when really behind the scenes he is. That's why he got mad on part 3 of the reunion. Like, look, y'all ain't about to keep fucking playing in my face. And Carlos walked over like, look, can you, indirectly kind of saying, look, can you kind of play along? Because this is how this works. I ask the questions and then you just kind of, follow along, and we'll sort that shit out later. So let's make Ken look like he's a good dad on camera, and you just keep doing what you're doing behind the scenes, because this is how I get my ratings, nigga. Like, sit back and stop trying to fight. Stop saying you're a good dad because you agreed in your contract that you were gonna be an ain't shit dad. That's what it gives me. That's what it gives me. So when I hear this, it's just like burnt bologna. And I don't even eat that shit. Hell, I don't eat bologna. But bottom line to me is I feel like it's making Marquez feel less than a man to publicly be looked at as a person who doesn't take care of his kids when you can see it clearly on social media. His children are with him. Financially, he's good. Matter of fact, he got more money than Ken. He's doing better than Ken. Ken is on fucking probation right now. His CDLs are in question in terms of his recent arrest for having them trees on him. Okay? He's on probation. Marquez is not. Marquez is able to travel back and forth to do what the fuck he wants to do, and he is working. He has his clothing line and other business opportunities and things coming out that he's doing. Well, I think his clothing line is already out, but because Ken was repping it. So I feel like it's the fake shit for me. But let's continue. It's
till then you can't. And I was happy that Ken was finally being blatant and honest and direct with his language that he was using. Playing that nice guy role was not working to his benefit. Okay, Marquez is a person that needs blunt force reminders, not blunt force trauma, but blunt force hard reminders. Like, you have to let him know you don't do nothing for these kids. You left this house in 2021. This is your fault that the relationship is broken between you and your children. How dare you assume a position of arrogance and hardiness, or like somebody owes.
But then when you mention that, I'm sorry to keep stopping. When you mention that, you have to put everything on the table when you say why he left. No man wants to stay in a relationship, in a marriage, where he knows that his significant other / wife is entertaining men in the DMs on the whole stroll, out here thought shopping, trying to be with someone else when he's right there in the house. Granted, and I said it before, marriages have issues, but I feel like it's a cop-out and it's an easy way out to say, well, I'm just going to meet somebody in the DM and I'm going to entertain them and I'm going to sneak around and I'm going to mess with them and do what the fuck I want to do. And if you don't like it, Marquez, then get out. And then I'll just tell everybody that you ran away from your kids and that you weren't a great dad. Because y'all heard Marquez at the reunion say that before he even left the house and he thought that he and Trish were good, Trish was sending messages to Ken, and Ken was responding by saying that he wanted to lick Trish like a lollipop. That's inappropriate conversation if you are married. Is it not? Is it not? It is. No one outside of your marriage should be messaging anyone or messaging a spouse or significant other talking about what you want to sexually do to them. That shit is so inappropriate. And Marquez, I feel like, and I don't want people to be like, well, you just sticking up. No, I'm looking at the facts because Marquez was trying. Trish, you already see how difficult she is. She likes to argue. Okay? She lies like a motherfucker, and I'm going to say it like that because she does. And the shit can be very overwhelming. So he moved upstairs, and he said during the time that he was living upstairs in that room that he and Trish was still being intimate. So it's given that she gave him some type of false hope that they were going to make things work while she was getting some dick on the side. And that's what I see there. And let's not forget the fact that she was still taking her ass up over there and probably entertaining Martel as well. So you're getting dick three ways. So, of course, she stands to gain the most out of this situation. So you guys are going to put all of the pressure and the guilt on Marquez when this man stayed in the house knowing that he was being sunned by another motherfucker who worked out in the gym who felt like he can boss up on him and made him feel like he was less than because he do a few more push-ups a day than him. Trish is the real villain in this fucking situation. And I'm just going to be real honest with you. Don't be fooled by the quiet demeanor that this girl continued to show you guys. Trish is something else. She's very jealous and mean-hearted. She's vindictive and she's vengeful. And I'll go ahead and call her a hoe, because you are, because bitch, you still sitting up here lying. And I feel like she never wants to tell the truth that she fucked Martel because she don't want to say that shit in front of Melody. Martel doesn't want to say that shit in front of Melody because he's still in the back of his mind feel like there's some type of open invitation somewhere down the line. Because I told y'all the other day, he made mention of he's going to give Mel 5 more years. Bitch, 5 more years, she's going to probably be married again. Real talk. Who is waiting around on a nigga who done went out here and had a whole full-fledged baby and sent 3 to the sky? I got to keep saying it. You had 1. And that baby was not supposed to go to the sky too. But if it wasn't for Ariana saying, bitch, I just had an AB. I'm not about to have another one. Now he gonna be here because I need a revenge baby now. Martel, this is my revenge baby. Shut your ass up now. You've been out here fucking around doing what you want to do. I'm gonna have this baby because I'm gonna be in your life for forever, ever. Shout out to Shout out Outcast. Forever, ever? Bitch, forever, ever. That shit forever. Ariana's made it known. I don't give a fuck who you meet, Martel. I'm gonna be there. Me and Knox is getting dropped off. I'm coming over there. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I don't care. Get married. I don't give a hot damn. I'm still coming over there. Family reunion. I'm coming over there. Knox is being dropped off. So she's gonna use Knox to the full of her ability to keep her spot. But back to Trish. That bitch is something else.
You something for being the biological father of these children by name only. No one owes you anything. You should feel worse about your absence. You should feel worse about how you lacking. And since it's about ego, all that beating your chest shit, I'm the father of them children. Well, where's your ego when you're watching another man literally take care of yours? Where's the ego when you're not getting up, going to work, getting the bread to assume the position? You can't complain about him taking care of your kids and then you don't take care of them, Carlos. If he goes tomorrow, what they gonna do?
I never looked at it that way. If Ken goes away.
There's plenty of men who take care of their children and don't live in the same household. Okay? Seriously. Do I feel like Marquez still have some love for Trish? Yeah. He said at the reunion, that's still my wife. We're not divorced yet. He still sees Trish as his wife. But he feel like, I'm not about to feel like I'm in competition with another man, with my wife. It seemed like she had already clocked out, but she always liked to use this fact that she was grieving as a crutch for her hoism. I've noticed that. Like when they asked her, was you watching the show? Did you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville? I was grieving. At the time I was grieving, so I didn't have time to watch the show. No, you was hoeing. You know everybody on the cast. You was hoeing, girl. You were. You had time to do what you want to do. You had time to go in the DMs while you were grieving. Okay? Because don't nothing make you feel a little better, girl. A little stroke of that good DD, good D, that vitamin D. That'll take you out, that'll take you out a little grieving from time to time. It will. If it's good. If you got a nigga over there that's pounding you out real good, you're not thinking about the grief right at that moment. So please stop making everybody think that 24/7 your mind was on grief. And I get it that she had, deaths prior. I mean, back to back to back like that. And, condolences. But in between all of that, you were still getting your freak on. And you ran your husband off because you couldn't keep your damn legs closed. And you lied about the shit. So do I feel like Marquez was doing what he could outside the house because it became too much? He was tired of being screamed on and arguing with Trish because she's so fucking immature. Did you see how she was going back and forth with Ken in that scene? Imagine the shit that she was going through with Marquez. And a man don't want to argue with no woman all the fucking time and vice versa. So when you're in an environment where you got to be screaming and hollering at a person, sometimes it's better for you to pack your shit and get the fuck out and just still raise your kids outside. That doesn't mean that you're not a great father. That just means, bitch, you're not getting ready to be calling the police on my ass and having charges on me when I'm trying to do what I need to do because you can't calm the fuck down. Hello? That's what that means. Sometimes you got to get away from people. Trish like to argue. And nowadays, if the popos come to your house, somebody going to jail, whoever the aggressor is. She like to fight too. She said it on the show. And every time she make a post trying to check somebody on Instagram, because I follow her, it's always some type of subtle threat in there about she gonna beat somebody's ass. So she's that type. She has that type of mindset. So imagine him living in that environment with his children there. And I'm pretty sure it was hard for him to move out after he already moved upstairs. Now I got to move out because that was the next level. It wasn't enough for me to move upstairs. Now I got to get my shit and move out of the house. And then she said when he did move out, he moved around the corner, so he wasn't far. And he still came by to see his kid. I don't like this narrative that they're painting on Love and Marriage Huntsville for a fucking storyline and for Carlos to get ratings. I don't like it.
Tomorrow. Well, I think that's the reason why in the finale episode he made that comment, right? Like, if I leave, of course I'm paraphrasing, but the struggling comment, and he felt very, it was
time for him to show that, man. They've been beating this dude down all season. I know people get sensitive about that fatherhood, stepfatherhood, parent response, but that's about responsibility. That's about responsibility, and that's about taking action and making sure that these kids are okay. And if you're not doing that as a parent, whether you're the mother, the father, whatever the fuck, if you are not actively ensuring through financial resources, through time spent, and through physical activity, if you're not making sure that your kids are okay, you ain't got shit to say about how they're getting taken care of. To me, that's just how I feel. And I would never have children and not take care of mine. So I don't come from no family of men that do that. Like I have zero respect for any man that don't take care of their children. So that's where I'm at with that whole situation.
Do you think Ken, because you brought up something a few minutes ago about the possibility of, finally Ken, stood up for himself. He's frustrated. He had it out. Yeah. Do you think
you are using apple cider vinegar the wrong?
Not the apple cider vinegar.
Can at this stage with the Martel jokes, right? With Marquez and him going at it, him and Trisha having their situation. Do you think, as nice of a guy Ken is, that at this point he is just like fed up because there's only so much a man can take?
Absolutely. That's a human. That goes so far beyond even him being a man. That's a human thing, right? Mm-hmm. You've been demonstrating patience, exhibiting patience. You've been understanding as far as you can. You've really taken the time to support this woman through her traumas and been understanding, giving her grace for those. You can only take so much. And when you have someone whose disrespect is as blatant as Marquez is, when you have someone whose his ideas and his perception of what's going on, is the absurdity of it is heavy. You know what I mean? You can't believe it. I'm sure that Ken can't believe that Marquez is saying certain things that he's saying. That's just a lot. You know what I mean? And I do think he will reach, or maybe has reached, his breaking point at some point. My concern is that I hope that does not look like or materialize as the breakdown of his relationship with Trisha. Because that can very easily transfer over into drama between the two of them. And we saw that in the season finale episode this season, excuse me. So I don't want that break to go any further. I don't want them to damage their relationship behind someone else's inadequacy. You know what I mean? I hope that they are able to separate the two emotionally. That's my hope for them.
Yeah, no, mine too. Did you find it sweet, funny, cringy, whatever you want to use, when you saw Marquez hand Melody the flowers and wants her to mentor him and talk about business?
Yeah, that was stupid. I thought it was stupid. It made for a good quick laugh, and it added levity in a moment where you really needed it, right? And shout out to you and your hosting skills, because that's what we was like, okay, let me bring something to this to add.
Let me shift the energy, child.
Yes, and it did. And Melody, shout out to her. She was a good sport. She ain't think. When I tell you Melody, it's not even on her radar anywhere. It is so far beyond her to even consider. She ain't thinking about that. She played along and gave a good moment for the show, and that shout out to her for that. But I think it's ridiculous. And once again, showing up empty-handed. He couldn't even bring up.
They giving Melody some props. I had to stop it, child. Lord have mercy. Is it gonna rain today? Lord have mercy. Did they give Melody? Did Carlos co-sign Melody getting some praise on this damn show finally? My Lord. Okay.
If you did want to bring a flower, you had to give them to him and he gave them to her. I think it used to be a term for that. When somebody give you something, you give it to somebody else, but I don't think we can say it.
We can't say that no more.
Yeah. So, I don't think we can say that no more. But he was doing, what that used to be called. And I thought it was ridiculous. It was just like him showing up to them kids' party, offering shots to all the men in the room and making comments about, fatherhood and stuff off the liquor that Ken and them purchased for the event. It's just crazy to me, man. It is crazy to me. So I thought it was ridiculous, but Melody was a good sport about it.
Absolutely. I agree. So then we shifted gears and we had a girls segment. Yeah. We spoke about the first ever Love and Marriage Huntsville girls trip, which, listen, it may have been 35 episodes of it, but I love the girls trip.
It was good. It was a good trip.
It was good. Yep. It was good. The biggest thing that came out of that conversation was between Melody and Miss Nell, right? Mm-hmm. Just in terms of the comment that Miss Nell made when they were on the beach and Melody brought up the word Jesus. And then Miss Nell said, the fans have gone to her head. She's not comparing herself to Jesus. And Mel's like, look, you're the one who'll be walking around saying she's the queen, it's her show, blah, blah, blah. Talk to me about your whole perspective of that sort of back and forth.
I thought it was lighthearted, and I was happy for that, right? That's a situation that could have very easily turned into mudslinging and low insults, but it wasn't. It was lighthearted. I think what I took away from that was that Miss Nell is going to have to really identify her lane amongst the cast and kind of like stay in that. You know what I mean? It's very easy because it's not like Miss Nell is way older than everybody on the show, but there is an age difference. You know, she has kids that date some of the cast members and stuff. So sometimes Nell wants to kind of play with the cast or engage in a way that makes them peers. And then other times Nell wants to be viewed as a mentor, as someone who is in an advisory position or a position of counsel. And the behavioral expectations of those two roles are completely different. So I'm not saying either one is for her. I think that's for Miss Nell to determine, and she will. After watching this season, I believe Miss Nell to be the type of person that can watch this show and edit herself and note herself. And I think that next season she will have a more clear role. Either you're gonna be the matriarch figure, you're gonna guide these women and assume that position and stay up out the fray of mess, or you're gonna get in there and play ball with them ladies and y'all all on the same level. And I think that she'll be able to reconcile that amongst herself and or within herself, I should say, and show up a little bit differently next season.
That's gonna be hard for her next season because the person who she really got away with mentoring was Mel. Mel was the only one that really wanted to listen and hear her ass. She don't really get, she don't really have that with Kimmy. Kimmy ain't trying to hear her because Kimmy is an old bitch too. And Tisha really ain't trying to hear nobody because anytime you try to tell Tisha when she's wrong, she gonna gather her shit and leave. So who else would she need to mentor? I don't know if Destiny's gonna be on next season. I haven't heard. What I heard, she wasn't going to be. So who else would you be mentoring? The fellas ain't really trying to hear her, and Martel really ain't trying to. He might be in jail by the end, child. So who is she trying to be mentoring next season? I think her mentoring title is definitely going to be gone because the person that she was supposed to be mentoring is no longer on the show. I don't know how she going. What is her storyline going to be next season? Because I don't think mentoring is going to be that. I'm just saying.
Because I like Miss Nell and I like Chris and Nell on the show. I want to continue to see their family. I want to dig deeper into the layers of that family because there's a lot going on there with those adult children who have their own full lives. So I would love to see the maternal, motherly Nell in that way. What way are you advising your children? Which way are you involved in what's going on in their life? You say that you helped and given all this money and stuff. How else have you helped? How else are you helping? Let's see you in relationship with all of the people that were at that dinner table when we first got to know the members of your family. I want to see those branches from Nell and Chris next season, as opposed to them kind of like mingling when they want to with the mess. Here's an example. Nell telling Martel, even though it was funny, Nell telling Martel, well, quit hollering in my damn ear. You know what I mean? That was funny.
Yeah.
But you were serious. You weren't saying it in a funny way. You were saying it seriously. And there's no way for him to really engage with you on that level for real. It just seems imbalanced. So I just want to see Nell just pick a side and stay there with it. You know what I'm saying? Either be
that's interesting.
This figure or get in the mix with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Either one of the two.
Yeah. And she has the propensity to do both. But what is fascinating about Miss Nell that I agree with you on is, listen, Miss Nell to me is like a Karen Huger. Right. And when I say that, because they love to talk about the other stuff. When I say that is what you said. She's somebody who may be a couple of years older than some of the cast members,
right?
But she does hold herself in this high regard. Not like Grand Dame-ish, but more so like maybe a little bit authoritative in a sense. And I do think I never thought about this until you just said it. There is something fascinating about. She definitely, in my opinion, just based on everything happening with the show and what we've seen so far, now that she is a full-time cast member.
Yeah.
I think prior to Ms. Nell being a cast member, and this is my opinion, I do think she regarded herself as like the queen bee of Huntsville. And when I say of Huntsville, meaning somebody before this show became about was very integral. You know what I'm saying? Before the of status, like how Karen Huger, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm bringing the Karen Huger part of it. Like regarding herself, she was older than some of these girls, and her marriage and what Chris did in the community and all those things. And I think to your point, the moment she became a full-time cast member, you're good, Dustin. I think the cast say, well, Miss Thing, you on the same level as us. Like we ain't about to bow down to you. And I think that's the reason why you see this struggle of authority because. Listen, with Kimberly Scott and Miss Nell on the first day of the girls' trip, listen, I think Kimmy said...
Jermaine struggled for years with dental issues before finally finding...
Cha.
You ain't my mama.
You ain't my mama. We're not at a foundation that you're on the panel of, on the board.
Yeah.
I've been on this show for 6 years. Because I think of Kimmy's mind. Kim was like, baby, listen. Before this show, you may have been that girl, but I'm telling you right now, I'm an OG. I'm 6 years in. So if I'm having a conversation with my sister-in-law and Nell, about these rooms and how I feel disrespected. I don't need you newbie to come in and even give 2 cents to it, because this is history right here.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think, yes, go ahead.
I believe Kimmy made that point even further when they were just, when you all, not that you're sitting right here, when you all were discussing the room situation. And you asked Kimmy if she felt like it was disrespectful that Melody had chosen those rooms. And Kimmy broke that shit down so smooth. She said, well, yes. And it goes beyond being an OG. We filmed with Melody in her backyard for nothing when she was trying to make this show happen. And that put things in a different context for me. You got to respect the game a little bit in that way. And Carlos, you know how I feel about that. People give you opportunities. People open doors for you. There's a reverence that should exist based on your gratitude. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean you kiss anybody's ass, because it's never that. But you consider that when decisions are made, and when it is time to consider how you receive or handle people, you show that you care, you show that you're grateful for whatever by the way that you handle them. And so when Kimmy said that, like, no, we shot this for nothing in her backyard because we believed in what she said, I felt like that could have been reflected in, decisions like that. That made perfect sense to me. And we know Melody did that because she was mad at them. She wasn't really fucking with them like that. And it was an opportunity for her to kind of take a little dig, and she did. You know what I'm saying? But I was glad Kimmy said how she felt about it and was clear. So I appreciated that conversation between the two of them, and Melody received it.
Yeah, no. But to me, that was why I wanted to highlight the girls' trip specifically. And obviously I could have spent a whole entire hour talking about the girls' trip. Right. Because so many things happened on the girls' trip. But I do think at the end of the day, what that segment showed everybody, and I've always said this in nauseam, that they can get into it, blah, 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 boom. But when they allow themselves to be heard, they do have this thing to where they sit back, take it in, and oftentimes say, I got you. Just like when Mel told Miss Nell.
Let me stop right there. I don't agree with Dustin about that room situation, because my thing is, and I said it before, it ain't got shit to do about you being no OG. You didn't put nothing down on no trip. You guys never been on a girls trip, period, as long as y'all been on the damn show. Melody came out of her pocket, and we talked about it before. Was it $33,000? None of them came up with that shit, and all y'all claiming y'all millionaires and y'all got money. If y'all wanted to go on a trip to have a very nice room and all this other stuff, you should have said, hey, let me put this towards this girls trip, knowing that Melody is paying for you guys to eat, for the chefs, because that costs money to have a chef. You got to have breakfast, lunch, dinner, brunch, and all this other shit in between. Drinks, alcohol, that shit costs money. So y'all were eating good, living good, traveling good. Y'all were out there on the slingshots. Like y'all were, all that. Melody left no stone unturned when it came to this damn trip, including where you guys stayed, which I know they paid a bag for that. I know they paid a bag for that. So anybody went on that trip and wanted to complain about something, and I said before, the room, girl, fuck that. You in St. Thomas. Who gonna be in the room that long anyway? Really, you just want somewhere to lay down and take a fucking nap, get up, wash your ass, hang your clothes somewhere, put them hoes on, and go back out and do it all over again. Rinse and repeat. Like, seriously, you are arguing about a room that you put no money to. You should have been happy to even be there. You should have been happy to be there. And if it was that strong for you, Stormi didn't even stay in the house. You know what Stormi stayed? At a fucking hotel, I'm hearing. Why you didn't just go get you a room somewhere? That's what most people do. Real Housewives of Atlanta, Nene and them did it all the time. If they had a girls trip and they were staying somewhere they didn't want to stay, they went and got them a nice upscale hotel somewhere. St. Thomas got nice upscale hotels. Or go rent you something at a resort. Knowing that you're going there, if you didn't like your space where you're staying, you had options. But the fact that you chose to stay in that situation, you chose to stay in that room. If you got money, you stay where the fuck you want to. And when it's time to film, bring your ass to the house. When it's time to go to bed, take your ass to your room. Stormi did the shit when they went to Texas. Stormi didn't stay in that house when they went to Texas. Stormi got a room. Stormi had her own money. She didn't like the accommodations that they presented to her, that Chris and Nell presented when they went to Texas. She and Courtney, they went and got their own shit. When it was time to film, they came back to the house. And Tisha and Kimmy should have done the same fucking thing. So for y'all to sit on TV with your faces all balled up and to still be at the reunion talking about that shit, oh, I feel away, I could have had my own room, and we supposed to be OGs in their house, and girl, shut the fuck up. I'd have told Tisha and Kimmy, if y'all don't like the accommodations, bitch, you see that door right there? It opens. And when you get on the other side of it, close it. You can slam it if you want to. I don't give a fuck. As long as you stay on that side. Like, be gone, girl. Goodbye. Turn the TV off. Shit. What you arguing about? Something? You a millionaire? I'm so tired of millionaires complaining, bitch. If I go somewhere I don't like the accommodation, if I go on a girls trip and I don't like the accommodations and the hoes that I'm there with, I got options. You know why? It's called a credit card. Reserve that shit. Go somewhere else. I ain't about to argue with nobody in no damn room when I can go where I want to go. Shit.
Now, like, I want you to know that, you know, I care about you. Like, we're good. Like, I need you to understand that and hear that. Because I think she knew, too, that Miss Nell needed to hear that. And Miss Nell was able to receive it. And I do think that sometimes, this is why I'm really big on this, a lot of confusion and complications can be settled just by a conversation. I tell people all the time, let's have a real conversation, right? I tell people all the time, if you have my phone number, because a lot of folks don't, and you have an issue with me, and you don't pick up the phone and dial those 10 digits, you don't have a real problem with me. You know, like there's no real issue, because you should be able to call me and say, hey, I feel this way, or let's talk about this. And that's why I felt in this segment, I appreciate that they all were able to be like, look, let's have a conversation.
That's your damn problem right now, Carlos. Talking about something. If you don't call my number, if you don't call my 10-digit number, then you don't have a problem with me. Yes, they do have a fucking, everybody got a problem with you. So everybody's supposed to blow your phone up because they got a problem with you. It's apparent that people have a problem with you because they leaving your fucking show. They don't need to call you for you to understand that there's a problem. Nobody wants to sit on the phone with your ass sounding like Ernie and Bert trying to talk about no damn problem that you created. It's called respect people and stop breaking up black families and relationships. I mean, because that's what people are saying about you. Carl Lucifer is what they call your ass. I don't even know who made that name up. I saw that in my chat. I was like, Carl Lucifer, that's funny as hell.
About this. And then we saw how they were able to move on from it. And that to me was the beauty of that particular segment.
Well, I think that is because, like, that's a conversation that if Melody wanted to continue that and go back and forth with Miss Nell and continue to express the fact that she never considered her a mentor, that would have kept going. What stopped that conversation, what tied it up in a way that was beautiful and shows what maturity looks like. Melody zoomed out in that moment. She was like, you know what? Let me zoom out and look at the bigger picture here. Instead of me debating what her presence was or her role in my life, what she's communicating to me is that she feels underappreciated by what I said. So let her know she's appreciated, and also let me apologize for the way that what I said made her feel, because that's what I need to message to her right now. She told Kimmy to be quiet, I believe it was, to make sure that Miss Nell heard her, and she said it, and Miss Nell received.
No, she told Kimmy, shut your ass up, Kimmy. Nobody asking you shit. Who said Kimmy looked like what's that kitty from Gunsmoke? Baby, I about fell off the bed when I heard that.
She did. Sometimes you have to do that. You have to zoom out, get out of your own ego and feelings, and measure how much you value the relationship, give grace, and correct the issue. And that's maturity. So I actually thought that was a beautiful moment between the two of them on that stage. And it was up. She told her, Miss Nell received it, and they moved the fuck on.
Praise.
That's what I like to see. So yeah.
Mel was like, look, I'm gonna nip this in the bud because I ain't gonna keep talking about this mentorship every time you see me. Like, I really don't want to keep talking about this shit. That's how I am too. Don't keep bringing shit up to me every time you see me. And we done talked about it and apologize and everything.
We then had our surprise guest debut.
Stormi. She looked beautiful, by the way. Stormi doing so good. When I tell you Stormi is doing good, Carlos. Shout out to Stormi. I love seeing that shit. Good for her.
And I love Stormi with jet black hair.
Me too. That dark hair was so becoming on her. She looked beautiful. She did.
That's the hair you want Mia to have?
Yes, please. I do. I'm telling you, that blonde don't do nothing. And I don't know shit about hair. I just know what I'm seeing. And I don't like that blonde shit on Mia. She looks so much prettier with dark hair. She has dark features. You know what I'm saying? Dark eyes. And she looks good with that dark hair. I
love the baby Stormi. I love jet black on Stormi. She looked gorgeous.
She did.
And what was so interesting about Stormi that I just thought was so beautiful. Number one, the fact that she even decided to show up.
For sure.
We reached out and was like, look, we want to be able to give you your sort of like say in regards to your time on the show. And to Stormi's credit, and I always give the cast their credit because at the end of the day, it's their decision to appear all the time. The fact that
I'm sorry, I just thought about something. I don't mean to stop it. Is it me, or do you guys feel like the way they brought Stormi out was like they were trying to maybe upscale Mel or upstage Melody? Do y'all feel like that? I mean, why the fuck was she brought out like she was this surprise guest? And why did they announce her as a surprise guest when she was just a regular cast member? Why she wasn't announced like everybody else to bring her ass out there and sit down and answer questions like everybody else? I don't give a hot boiling damn if you had 1 million TikTok sales or whatever your ass had over there. That's great. Everybody's doing something on that damn platform, maybe. But I don't think that she should have been brought out like she was just, damn Whitney Houston or somebody coming on the stage. Like, girl, you ain't as relevant as everybody else on that fucking stage. Like, are you doing more than Melody? Yeah, you do. You got some shit going on. But my thing is, you should have brought your ass out there like everybody else. When he brought out Trish and Ken, when he brought out Martel, like when he brought everybody out, your ass, welcome to the stage, Stormi. Bring your ass out there and sit your ass down just like everybody else. This whole special guest bullshit, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit because I feel like it was done in an effort to try to upstage Melody to make her feel like Stormi is better than her or doing more than her, or maybe like, she the shit and you not. I felt like that was a little dig from Carl. Did anybody feel like that, or was it just me? I'm not tripping. Anybody? I felt like he was trying to do that. I really do. And I feel like it was a kind of his way of trying to do this right here, make her be like, yeah, I'll come back because you made me feel special in that moment. Like you brought me out like I was that girl, like I was the star of the show. So maybe I reconsider coming back on the show or whatever. I called that, Carlos. And I just called that.
She said, I'll do it. I'll do it. Goes to show you the love that she has for the production, the love that she has for the show. And she even said, like, I love this show. I love everybody on the stage. Yeah. Stormi is just, the thing about Stormi, and we'll get into the next part of her being on the stage. Stormi is beautiful inside and out. Stormi has a big heart. And I think when it comes to Stormi, what they saw on part 3 was a woman who is happy. Like she looks happy and just content. There's nothing negative.
I don't give a hot boiling down when nobody say Melody ripped that shit with her look. I have not heard him yet say nothing about Melody and how she came out that bitch and how she looked in that blue. Y'all can't tell me that cape shit she had on was not hot. Now, I don't wear no capes around here. Okay. But Mel came out there on her super bitch status. Okay. Super queen, super owning, like super everything. Bitch, when you got on the cape, you super out that bitch. Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't hear Carlos do all of that when he didn't say nothing about Melody. Melody came out there and served so much so until even Maurice sit beside his own wife. I didn't see Maurice say that about his own damn wife, but Maurice even gasped when Mel walked around that fucking corner. Okay. I ain't see him do that shit with Kimmy. I ain't see him do that when Tisha Marceau walked out. I didn't see that happen. I ain't see that happen when Dustin came out. I mean, her whole damn earring from over that rainbow fell off in that bitch. I didn't see nobody praising Mel say, "Oh, girl, come on." That bob was bobbing, dress was dressed, like all of that. Makeup was makeuping. Face beat was all of that. I ain't hear him give her no praise like that. The only time we just heard him give her praise was for her being a good sport and allowing, the whole conversation to be changed with that whole flower situation with Marquez. But you ain't compliment how she looked. That's the star of your fucking show, and that's why she ain't back on that bitch no more. You begging her to come back, but then you over here on Messy Monday doing the same shit that ran her off. Maurice, wow. The nigga said wow like his credit score went up in that bitch. The nigga said wow like he went from a 123 credit score to a 900 in that bitch. That's where he looked when Mel came around that fucking corner. And everybody was enamored by how she looked. Even Carlos. Oh, okay. Shit. He almost became straight for about this long. Let's tell you, this shit here is so stupid.
There's no negative clouds when it comes to her. Like, she looks very much like, I'm happy and I love you guys. I love the show. And she even said it. She said, like, look, there's a lot of negativity that comes with being on the show. That in addition to, I'm busy, I have a lot going on. She talked about the amazing success she's having on TikTok and, making history. But what I love about her was at the end of the day, she decided to come back on the platform that some of her audience was introduced to her as, and really give the show, the cast, and everybody their flowers. And, that's what you hope for someone like a Stormi. So I wanted to say that. One of the biggest things that we also wanted to do, and I know the audience have been asking about this, and y'all know, once again, I'll say it ad nauseum, I can't tell y'all everything. Okay? Stop harassing me, please. So we obviously wanted to honor Kiki Jabar.
Yes.
And that was something that, as you guys saw in the flashback, we did film it. It was Letitia's idea. When that situation occurred, we gave Tisha time to process, because at the end of the day, that was somebody who she considered to be a sister.
Yes.
The love they had for each other was deeper than that of cousins. They were really sisters. And I told the production, like, you leave Tisha alone, in the sense of like, don't contact her, give her time. I respectfully did not contact Tisha when it happened, because when something like that happens, you're in your day with so many phone calls and text messages, and I don't want her to overwhelm. So I contacted Marcel personally to check in on Tisha, because I wanted Tisha to like get off her phone and to process something like that. And me and Marcel had a conversation, and I said to him too, like, let her know I reached out, but also let her know too that, you know, we're here if she needs anything. And then Tisha said, I would like to.
I'm sorry, they need a fucking check. Did that come up in conversation? Let me know if you need anything. Stormi sat on the stage and said the family was going through it, not having the money to bury Kiki, your employee. And you just told him to tell you if you need anything. I'm pretty sure that might have came up in conversation. Let me tell you how much Carlos didn't give a fuck. This motherfucker didn't even write a post after Kiki was announced not being here no more. You didn't even write a sympathy post on behalf of Kingdom Reigns Entertainment and say my condolences. Like, we were like, why the fuck Carlos ain't saying nothing? Kiki not here no more. All the bloggers, he picked it up and talked about it. We did videos about it. People were having, people were crying about it. People were in their feelings about Kiki not being here anymore. And the boss, Kingdom Reigns Entertainment owner, producer, ain't said a goddamn thing. But you gonna tell the producers don't say shit to Tisha? To let her process it when the bitch helped push her there? I don't give a fuck. I'm saying it. Don't get in my DMs. Don't get in my DMs. The girl had already said on your show that you produce. Kiki, you dead to me. Can I get a witness? Did she say that? Or did she not say it? She said that shit on your platform that her sister cousin was dead to her. And you gonna sit up here, y'all, production don't bother her. What was that same energy when Melody was going through hell in her fucking divorce, where she crying in closets from Martel and finding out this motherfucker went and had a baby on her, where he was taking her to court? Nah, you wanted her ass to show up to work. You didn't give a hot damn what she was dealing with and going through. But then when it's this shit that was orchestrated by the person that you telling don't bother, why Tisha get so much grace and Mel don't? This motherfucker. Why? Let me get back in the character. Why Tisha get so much grace to grieve when Mel couldn't even grieve her fucking divorce, and you got her on the set like this here, got to put on a happy face when she dying inside? And the same person you trying to give grace to sat there and said that the person that's not here no more, that person is dead to them. She didn't give a fuck about it. Would not apologize about it. And then when her cousin Kiki tried to apologize, she wouldn't accept her apology. So now that Kiki is not here anymore, let's give her time. Bitch, you know how much time you had. And I don't want to come off as being insensitive, but this shit is so stupid. This is... What a button that child.
Honor her. And we filmed it. And, when something like that happens of this magnitude, we want to obviously respect it. And I thought that the reunion was a perfect place to have everybody present. Do you know what I mean? To really just have everybody present, to really honor her.
So the reunion, so you can sit your ass up there and be fake like Tisha. The reunion was a great place for you to bring up Kiki so you can monetize from their pain. Gotcha. Did you fly your ass to Huntsville, Alabama and knock on a meme? That's Kiki's husband's door. And say, listen, she might not have been my favorite cast member. Hi, I'm Carlos, by the way. She might not have been my favorite cast member. How's the family doing? Look, on behalf of Kingdom Reigns Entertainment, here's a check. I'm going to pay for the entire funeral so that you guys don't have to worry about it. I've already told Tisha and them, let them grieve, let them do that. But I want to come to you personally and say to you, and I'm making this up as I go, so I know you could have came up with this shit. I want to say on behalf of Kingdom Reigns Entertainment, here's a check. Apply it wherever you need it to go on behalf of Kiki Jabar, because I want you guys to understand and know that I appreciate what she did for the show. She helped with the ratings, and she did. For that particular season, for those of you that don't know, the scene where Kiki threw that drink in Tisha's face was the highest rated episode in that season. Go back and look at it. That's the least you could have done. So we're not about to sit up here and say that's the only time you could have got the cast together, because you flew your ass to Huntsville to make the cast come together to get along, to have a get along meeting, to tell them, look, bitch, I don't care what y'all fighting about. I got these ratings I need to get up, because you have certain cast members saying they're not going to film with each other. So you flew from Atlanta to Huntsville to have a staff meeting, a cast meeting, to tell them they need to get along because it doesn't look good on camera with people saying, I don't fuck with them. That's what had happened. So we ain't about to do that shit.
In what I felt was the most proper, dignified way, and that was at the reunion. And Tisha agreed to that. We ran it by her, and she said, I agree. I'm cool with that. And I was happy that we were able to really have people talk about it, and the revelation as well that Stormi did pay for the funeral, because again, Stormi is just a nice person, and
for sure.
And she really does have a big heart.
That was beautiful to see, man. First of all, much respect to Kiki's family, her entire family.
Amen.
God bless her children. She loved her children, and we saw that be consistently shared from her since we were introduced to her. My heart goes out to Tisha, to Marcel, Maurice, Kimmy, everybody that knew Kiki. You know what I'm saying? But especially her family. She very bravely shared some really personal shit over her time on this show. And it was just heartbreaking, of course, to see that happen in her life. So God bless Kiki and her entire family, man. And
your heart go out to Tisha and Marcel. Marcel gave 0 fucks about Kiki. Are you freaking kidding me, sitting on this platform right now? Marcel didn't shed a tear. Marcel sat there and stared at the floor like, can y'all please finish crying, fake crying, so we can move to the next segment of this fucking reunion? He didn't give a fuck about talking about Kiki. Did y'all see his face? He was one of the main ones that hated Kiki. He's the first person who's talked shit the most about Kiki and brought on to Carlos' platform about Kiki being on drugs. We never would have knew that shit. Marcel brought that on there, and Tisha co-signed that shit. So your heart go out to Tisha and Marcel in this moment? Oh, okay.
I think that
the original Botox Cosmetic.
I needed you in that moment, child. Thank you, Ed. Let's continue, child.
My heart just goes out to Tisha. You know what I'm saying? Because I really think that it had to be difficult to not be in the best place with someone so close to you and in such a public way when they passed. That's a lot on you. We know that Tisha loved Kiki and Kiki loved Tisha. We just were privy to some of the breakdowns in their relationship that we all go through. But that was family shit. You know what I mean? And my heart goes out to her, to the whole family, but to Tisha too. And I think the lesson here for everybody, right, especially the people on the cast, this life is real. And it's much bigger than petty disagreements. It's much bigger than petty arguments. And that's why you don't say certain things in the heat of the moment in arguments that don't make no damn sense and are too heavy, and use words that are impactful in a negative way and dangerously weaponize words and arguments, because you never know what's going to happen. That should be a wake-up call to everybody on that cast and everybody watching that show.
I agree with that.
Give people grace, have a little sensitivity, and be resolution-based when you're in conflict. People are going to get on your nerves. You're going to have disagreements, and you're going to address some of them, right? But there's a way to do it where you stay above the point of no return, because you never know what's going to happen from one day to the next in life. And so that's the lesson that I think a lot of people, that's one lesson that I think a lot of people can take from this and use in a positive way that'll look like just fostering better relationships and showing up better for people as a friend, as a family member, or whatever, even in times where you're not the most happy with one another. That's the lesson. And it's just very, very sad to see that tragic outcome for her. And my heart just goes out to the whole family, man. But I think you all did a beautiful job at respectfully addressing her passing and giving her some respect and some reverence and some love. I think the reunion stage was the perfect place to do it because all of the eyes are on it, and it represented a unified showing of respect based on the cast and the show. I appreciated that. So y'all did a good.
Let me tell y'all the difference between this reunion and the last reunion. I just thought about this. The last reunion that Kiki was on, they treated her like shit. And Pee Wee Herman to my left over here with this damn red and white blouse on was the worst one of all. You badgered her like she was on the damn stand in court, on the witness stand, about her drug habit. And this girl was steady telling you she was clean. Carlos, you treated her like shit, and you allowed Marcel to do it, and you sat back and laughed and egged it on. You allowed Tisha to throw insults and talk shit about Kiki on the last reunion, y'all. It's not that, listen, on the last reunion, let's not forget, Kiki was treated like shit. at your reunion, and you got to come back on this reunion and fake cry and act like you really like this girl when you really did not. Because you chose, once again, Carlos, you chose Tisha over Kiki. Because you like favorites. You have favorites. Just like we see you've chosen Stormi over Melody. And Melody even pitched the fucking show for Stormi to be able to bring her wide back ass up on there. You see the distinction there? He is just he's so out of touch with reality. This shit is so beyond.
Good job, man. Y'all really did.
My God.
And shout out to Stormi.
Thank you. Yeah, no, shout out, like you said, listen, our hearts, thoughts, and prayers obviously go out to Kiki's entire family, her husband, her children, most importantly. Listen, it's why anybody who knows me, at the end of every single reunion, I have always hosted. I have always elected to say my favorite words to them. Things are not that deep. Go shade, boom, 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 have it, boom, 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 right? But life is too short. You know, and you and I have had personal experiences recently that really dictates that too. And that's why for me, listen, I've always tried to implore that to all of my cast across all my shows. And even because I'm the Nell Fletcher of reality stars. I'm their mentors.
Look, whether they asked or not, goddammit. That's
whether
right.
They asked or not, honey. It's not on the calendar. But if y'all only know how many reality girls and guys be DMing me, Carlos, I need advice. I'm like, what somebody did me last week? I need some advice. I'm like, yes, baby, what you want, child? So, you know, I do. So I say all that to say, I always try to implore to them, life is too short.
Yes.
And I literally, Dustin, had this conversation with somebody before this this Monday Night Live we're doing. There's two people who are beefing, and this woman I was talking to, she said, you have so much hate for this person. Did they do something to your children? Did they sleep with your man? Like, you have so much venom. Like, what did they do? If you feel like they did this, why haven't y'all addressed it together? And I said to her that sometimes people, listen, that's why the word misery loves company is a real thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen, what's unfortunate is there are people who exist in this world who love to sit in misery because it provides something to them. Or they want to sit within the anger or the upsetness or whatever because what people don't realize, it feeds something in them that they are enjoying in the moment. And that's why I always use the reunions as a way of having everybody address their issue. And I all of the ways, each segment, as much as I can, try to say to them, like, but is it that deep? Is it that deep? Is it to the point where there isn't a point of no return? And listen, there are cases, obviously, where that is the case, right? Like there's certain things, like you said, where you say something that is so like abhorrent that you can't move past it, and I get that. 98% of any reality show, I always feel like there's ways for you to move on, because what you don't want to happen is for someone to not be here on this earth, and you sit back and say, was the shade worth it? Was me being shady for, let's be real, for a moment? Was me trying to have a moment worth me not reconciling with this person in the sense of saying, listen, we good. You go here, I'll go here, and we're gonna leave each other alone. And that
really leaving each other alone, like.
But why he didn't respect that when Melody made it very clear, respectfully on the stage, that she don't have a desire to be friends with Destiny. He was still trying to make them be friends. Like, you don't see it in your heart for the two of you to have a conversation and to be, you know, be cool again and to be in each other's space again. Like, you can't make people, grown people at that, be friends. It's okay to make it known that, look, I don't really have a problem with you. You did some fucked up stuff to me. I'm okay being over here and you stay over there. And if we're in the same circle, in the same spaces, like, respectfully, I can speak and keep it moving. We don't have to have a conversation either. But Carlos likes to do this here with his castmates, like make them play like they're children. No. When a person like Destiny goes as far as they've gone, it's over. And the same with Martel and Melody. You heard Melody at the reunion tell Martel, don't talk to me. Like, it's to that point now. It's to that point now. And Carlos just does not get it. Like, why are you steady trying to make your cast members do this? Like, clash and just be friends. It's beyond that point now. Sometimes you just apology and keep it moving.
Like, really just being done with it.
Done with it. And my hope for all reality stars is, when you guys have these shade moments and stuff, at the end of the day, always trying to find a way to resolve it, because 98% of the time, there is room for forgiveness.
Yeah, it's bigger than winning.
There's no room for forgiveness with Mel and Martel. Like, what? You cheated on me. Multiple women had a baby on. Now we find out you had women in our home, even though that Melody moved out. That's still her home. They weren't divorced. Okay. Martel did a lot of stuff that we don't even know about, probably, which I'm sure she will reveal when she's ready. The situation between Melody and Destiny, that's unforgivable. It's just understood. Just we're not in that space no more. But this girl keeps trying to be my friend, but you keep doing shit along the way. It's just understood. No, it ain't everything. You can't make up and just be friends after that. You just can't.
Argument, y'all. There's more at stake and more at play here when it just comes to who you are as a person. So yeah, that's what I got from that. I'm wearing purple today for her for our recording. Shout out to Kiki, Jabar, and her family, her beautiful children. Much love to them, and just God bless them, man. That's what I want to say about that.
Yes. No, I concur. So this also concludes part 3. And what better way to conclude the review?
All right, so we're done. Let's get into this panel, baby, because I know y'all got some stuff to say, baby. We about to drop this link, and I want you guys to let off on how you feel about this part 3, girl, of this review, child, of Messy Monday. Some of the stuff I agreed with Dustin. Some stuff I was just like, hell no. Hell no. That whole Kiki segment, I didn't like that shit. Nope. We're not doing it. There's the link. For those of you that want to come up, I'll drop it again. Please make sure your devices are connected when you come up. All right, let's try to keep it at 2 minutes, guys. No more than 2 minutes so that everyone can get a chance to talk. This is an open panel about the part 3 of the reunion for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, for what you guys just heard from Messy Monday from Carlos and Dustin. Let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about it. Let's have some healthy conversation. Y'all can go in the up on the panel chat and read down if you feel like you need to. Let's talk. Let's talk. All right, where you at? Let's talk. I'm gonna tell you now. I'm gonna tell you why y'all thinking about coming up. Let me say how I feel. To be honest with you guys, that whole Trish, Ken, Marquez, Martel situation, I do feel like Trish and Martel slept together, and I don't care. I stand on that. I don't even want to say allegedly. Okay, I really feel like they slept together. I feel like Trish is gonna take that shit to the grave because she don't want to say it out loud. She don't want to be viewed as 3 or 4. I just feel like that. Shout out to T. Elise Smith. How you doing, ma'am?
Hey, Caramel, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So,
how you feel?
So I have a couple of things, but I want to first start with Carl Lucifer because he the one I got it the most for.
Yeah.
First of all, he have no emotional intelligence. So let's start there. And I think that's why he don't even understand his own shows, his own cast members, and that's why they have problems with him. If you don't have any emotional intelligence, you can't work with people. And I think it's interesting how he always say, oh, that's interesting when somebody points out something about his show. It's interesting to you, sir, because you don't have a clue or a vowel. And it's just sad. And so I think Dustin always makes some good points. I can't go with everything he say because I was 100 with you and the things you were saying about what Dustin had to say. But I think Dustin have better things to say than Carlos, and Dustin is not the producer of the show. However, I think Dustin don't tell Carlos the truth about himself. And I think that's what Carlos lacks. Somebody needs to tell him the truth. But when you tell him the truth, then he got an issue. And then I'll move on down to Kimmy Lonestockings because she looked a whole mess the whole entire time on this show. That's why her husband was wowing other people. She had something to say about everybody. Conversation that was going on except her own, and Mel stuck it to and told her shut the up
right
as she should have. And then I also I'm going kind of fast because I got some notes. Then the conversation that Mel was having with Nell, she had to just go ahead and zoom out because Nell don't have good sense, and I think Dustin had a good point about Nell defining her role, but I don't think that she will because Nell thinks that she's something that she's not, and she needs to go deal and reconcile that to her own self. If you don't have good relationships with your family, i.e. even your stepdaughter, then fall back on mentoring everybody else and go get your own ish together. And then come back and try to mentor somebody. First of all, go mentor yourself. Go get some personal development. Deal with yourself. Deal with the things that you have going on. And we all do have things going on. But deal with what you have going on and then come mentor somebody. But I was 100 with Mel when she told her, you didn't mentor me to do anything. But I understood her coming in that conversation and basically, going ahead and saying, I appreciate you. Because you can still appreciate what somebody have to say to you. It don't necessarily mean that they were a mentor. Now to the blonde hair, I just want to hit that real quick and then I'm gonna get off it. Everybody on the stage, lose the blonde hair. Everybody. Trish, everybody quit going to Party City. I heard Party City is going out of business. They probably had all the hair on sale, but that didn't mean all of them had to go buy it.
Come on.
And I'm just gonna say, I do think Mel's look the best, but she looks better in dark hair. I like seeing her in dark hair. At least hers didn't come from Party City. But Destiny, as soon as Halloween was over, they were all in line at Party City getting their hair on sale. They beat Tisha there. That's why Tisha didn't go. But can somebody tell me, where did Tisha leave her neck? Did she leave it in the dressing room at home, or where when she put on that the ice skating outfit that she came out in?
Ice skating, girl.
I want to know that. That's a question I really been wanting to know. And then what was the last thing I wanted to say? Oh, Mel was asking Trish questions because she just wanted to know how she was gonna move with Trish. I know she didn't give two wood nickels about what Trish and Martel did. We all know Martel and Trish did something. They didn't do the hokey pokey. They didn't do the cha-cha slide. I mean, they were over there doing the chicken wing or something. They weren't doing what Trish trying to let on that they were doing. They were doing something more than that. But Mel don't care about that. She just want to know, because as a Scorpio, I am 11-14.
Come on.
We just want to know how we gonna move with you going forward.
Right.
Because Mel understood at that time, if she had stayed on the show, she was gonna have more dealings with Trish. And if they had gone on another girls' trip, Trish would have had her butt in the dungeon somewhere. And speaking of the girls' trip, I'm with you on that. Tisha and Kimmy got on my last nerve because, as far as I'm concerned, they could have went and slept on the patio. Get off my trip with this. You ain't paid one red nickel, one brown penny. Now, I know nickels ain't red, but you didn't pay one. And you got the nerve, the audacity. Audacity was on sale. It was free for that trip because all of them had some. And so I would have just let all of them, like Beyonce say, to the left, gone. And that's why I see why Mel has exited. I am so happy Mel has exited because I've been wanting her to exit. They have got on my last nerve, and it's not even me. But that's it. But Carlos, I don't know. You just dumb, not intelligent. You have no emotional intelligence. That's why you talk like that. Maybe instead of being Ernie, you should have been watching Ernie on Sesame Street, because you need to go gain some sense or something. But that voice, and then how they treated Kiki, you was 100 on that. And that's why I don't even want to even see that part, because it's all fake. And Tisha, her guilt is eating her up as it should, because she's diabolical just like her mama. And that's all I'm gonna say on that.
Baby, you came through there. You came through there, and I agree with everything you had to say. Yes, ma'am. Thanks for coming up. All right, honey. Miss Astute Queen B. How you doing?
How you doing, Caramel?
I'm good.
Listen, I'm tired of saying it, but I'm gonna say it again.
Come on.
I keep telling everybody. We all know Dusty is Martel's bottom B.
Ooh.
I think Trish was the original, because Trish thinks she's slick. Now, Trish played hopscotch and double dutch and all that, not trying to explain to Mel what house she was at. I believe the reason why she didn't want to explain is because Mel says she didn't leave until April. But Trish Tuan Fu told Millie Chomp that she was there in March. So Mel was still living there when Trish was in her house. I want them to stop trying to be slick and change it to that you was at the where she tried to say they went to the clubhouse. No, you was at their house. Because you told Mel you almost hit a deer. That's why Mel asked you the driveway, because she wanted to know which house you was in when she left. But you was in that lady house before Mel left. And Trish, I keep telling you, Trish, every time Carl Lucifer asked her a question about messing with Martel, she would say no, but she would shake her head yes. And I'm like, did nobody not pay attention to that?
Body language.
Yeah. And I told Ken myself, that girl playing you. She playing with you. I told him that.
You told Ken that?
I did. I went in his inbox. I said, Ken, that girl got you looking like a fool. And you need to back up and pay attention. But that girl playing with you. She don't want to divorce that man. She don't want to divorce Marquez. She don't even like I said her butt was puckered so tight when he gave Melvin flowers. She ain't know what to do with herself. But her and Martel smashed because when she looked at Martel for an answer, she said he didn't touch her that day at that place, that time. He didn't touch her because you said you went multiple times there. So I believe she's the original bottom B because that was 2020. And Mel was still living there in 2020.
Yeah.
Marquez may need some help. And he may not have the emotional intelligence, but he know what the hell that girl did to him. And he said he ain't leave until 2021. But Kim was sending her messages in 2017, and they were still together. That's how Marquez know that she messed with Martel too, because he seen video and he had heard her talking. So I'm like, y'all need to pay attention. But I also wanted to say this one last thing, and I'm gonna get out your way. As far as the call comes for Dustiana thinks she's slick because only people like to mimic what she said. She said, "I'm sorry, I love you." She didn't say nothing about I'm sorry for what I'm gonna have to do to you. That ain't what she said. I paid attention to her, and I'm like, girl, stop pretending, because you didn't do all that. But that was my main focus, because Nell gonna get what she got coming to her. That just is what it is. Her and Fletcher done ruined their friendship with Mel. That's why I tell people, when Mel said the last time she did her live and they asked her, was her and Nell Fletcher still friends while she did that live? And she said, y'all gonna have to watch to find out. I said, they ain't friends. Nella messed that up, and I see how she messed it up even worse. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you, girl. You know you always
welcome for having me.
You know the homie, honey. You my homie. Thanks.
I know we gotta have our conversation.
Okay, hit me in the DM.
I'm really ready for it now.
Yes, hit me in the DM. You know I'm ready.
I will. All right.
Girl,
have
bye.
A good one. Later.
All right, come on up here, Miss April. Let me unmute. There you go. How you doing? April Gainey? Are you there? What happened, girl? April Gainey, are you there? Let me give her a couple minutes. She might be having some technical difficulties. April, are you there, honey? She's unmuting and muting. Let's give her a second. Let me see. Before we move on to the next one. Are you there, April? April Gainey? Okay, she muted herself again. She's having some technical difficulties. Let's go ahead and let Aunt Natty go. Go ahead, Aunt Natty.
Hey, Rally Rail.
Hey, boo. How are you?
All right. I'm at work, so let me make this quick. Dust mite is the scum of the earth. Ooh. And if I was Melody, I would sue her for what she ain't got. Every can of Big D energy that she said would drift off into my bank account. When they get ready to bury that biatch, they would go to where her plot used to be, and I be and gave it to a homeless person. They would be in there. Do you understand me? I would take her for what she ain't got. Nail done messed up. She gonna try to backpedal her way back into Nail's life, but it ain't happening. The door is closed. Kimmy, instead of her trying to tell Marquez how to be a good daddy, she should have been a good mama and let Jayla's name stay on that house instead of Maurice's, and it wouldn't have been in foreclosure. Listen, Dry Libido, take that little advice. Midnight Train to Georgia, you knew them bullets was meant for Melody, not one stray hit Martel. And while you talking to Sonny about being with somebody, remember you was in the man in the back of the Buick that you let hips, breasts, and thighs go fishing and eat dinner with. Love you, Rail. Gotta drop.
Baby, why you had to snatch my bangs out like that? Jesus. Woo, me, Aunt Natty.
That was it.
Girl, you came in here like this.
I forgot somebody. Lockjaw, we know you did the reverse cowgirl on Motel 6 because you was too ugly for him to look you in your face. Elephant Neck, you knew you was with a married woman, so don't be surprised because she cheated on you and lied to you. Because when you was sticking in her Marquez's house knowing the code, she was doing the same thing to him.
Whoa. Girl, not the reverse cowgirl.
He didn't want to look at her in the face. He told Elephant Neck she was ugly.
Yeah, he did
so
say
he the reverse cowgirl.
Yikes. Ooh, whoa, girl.
And I love you, and you know, even if I don't catch you live, I always catch the replay. I love your commentary.
I love you back. Thanks for coming over. Okay, have a good day at work.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye. Ooh, all right, come on, Miss April, how you feeling?
Hello, can you hear me?
I can.
Thank God. Okay. How's everybody doing in the chat?
Good.
I'm glad that Mel has left and she's ending that chapter in her life, because them people are getting toxic. As far as what Dustin was saying about Marquez, that's his Marquez. How can he be in their life when there's so much animosity between him and the supposed man that's in the house? That don't make any sense. And you don't know what that man is doing with his children when they're not on the show. So Dustin's whole argument to me is like dumb. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I don't like the fact that he was not doing monetarily for them, and maybe he didn't have the money at the time, but spending time with them, he don't know what they was doing. And Carlos King is, I can't even say nothing about Carlos King, because that he's a non-MFing factor, because he's just out for the money. Just like you said, he's out to make $1, and ruining their lives doesn't matter at all. And Trisha and Marcel, they boring. That, like you said, that show is not going to be around another season. If they give them a season this time, I'm not going to be watching it. But if they give them a season this time, it's not going to last a second. And that's all I got to say.
I appreciate it. I agree with you. Have a good day. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye. Ooh, child. Anybody else want to come up? Hold on. Maxine said, Caramel, so you have replaced me. Girl, y'all know I love all of y'all, okay? I don't really have no favorites. Y'all know that. I say I love all of my Caramelians. All of you guys, okay? I love y'all. Y'all right here, okay? So nobody else want to come up? Nobody? I ain't going to force you, child. Listen, because I'm ready to go anyway. Somebody already ready for the hit song down here. They're ready to go, honey. I'm ready to go too. I'm ready to go downstairs, give me some drink. But anywho, let's get out of here, guys. All right. If you guys don't want to come up no more, that's fine. So I appreciate everybody for coming on the panel. Thank you so much to the content curators. Sunny Days, thank you for being here at True TV Podcast. Thank you, Deary Talk Show, if she's here. Miss Hills ATL, Boss Lady Ring, Girlfriend Chronicles, love seeing her. Thank you to my mods for being here. Also, Scorpion Miss, KBR Tyra, and Belle Wilson. Thank you all for all that you do. You guys always rock and keep it on the calm down over here. So thank you guys so much. And let's get out of here, honey. Let's go. Like, subscribe, and share the video if you guys can. Please like the video, guys. Okay, please like the video. All right, bye.
You can still go, even when you feel slow. You can still go, even when there's no hope. You can still go. I never answer to no, man. I still go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.